Attention YouTube Carnivore Community. This here's a public service announcement introducing the existence and influence of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. In his apparent how-to book on implementing a dystopian nightmare, George Orwell describes something called doublespeak, where the ruling class will intentionally mislabel things as the polar opposite of what they actually are, as this apparently helps keep the plebs confused and easily manipulated. Enter the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Now, I've had a number of people say to me, but I don't understand how. With a name like the National Cattlemen's Beef Association? How can they be working against U.S. cattlemen? And in this short video, I'd like to explain just a little bit about why that is absolutely the case. Now, you may consider yourself a member of the YouTube Carnivore Community, and as such, it's most likely that until today you've never even heard of the NCBA. However, there is little doubt that the NCBA is very privy to the YouTube Carnivore Community, as evidenced by their own words in their published Tactic 2020C, but that's a video for another day. Today, let's just have a look at the NCBA's corporate member page. And when we do, we see that it reads like a who's who of the same corrupt corporations that are pioneering the nutritionally deficient, virus-like, plant-based, soy and pea protein pseudo-meat, the vegan kill cult kibble movement from hell. A little research will reveal that this private lobbying firm is not only controlled by the vegan kill cult itself, but its actual cattlemen membership only represents less than 4% of cattlemen here in the United States. Despite being completely void of any considerable small U.S. beef producer influence at all, the NCBA annually receives outright the proceeds raised from a special tax levied against small U.S. beef producers like myself called the Beef Checkoff. No, I said the Beef Checkoff. Every year, this mandatory, small U.S. beef producer-funded slush fund is handed over to the NCBA, where they use it to promote cheap, industrially raised, corn subsidy-fed beef from all over the world to Americans. This is what the NCBA was recently quoted saying during their recent attack on and successful assassination of country of origin labeling on beef sold in the United States. And while the NCBA corporate members are flooding your supermarket with cheap, foreign, corn subsidy propped up beef from every overseas, questionable and variable standards producer they can kick up from every country around the world that is not the United States, have they been passing those savings on to you? No sir and no ma'am. They're still charging record retail prices and pocketing as much as $800 profit and more on every single animal that ends up as packaged beef. Meanwhile, virtually every time a U.S. consumer goes to the supermarket and buys what they're calling regular supermarket beef, well, they're unwittingly cutting American beef producers off at the knees, and they're pulling the rug out from underneath the feet of America's very own food security. Needless to say, you should really think long and hard before you buy and support regular grocery store beef. You may just realize that you're subsidizing your own demise when you do.